Savannah with Woody and Jim in the Morning, and we have found him. Contributor Casanova, except that's not really your name. What is your name, actually?
Justin.
Okay. We've had all of Nashville looking for you for like the past week because we think you're gorgeous. And we almost stopped and told you the other day, you just have like these really incredible eyes. We think you could be a model. And when we talked about it on the air, we had a lot of people around town that know exactly who you are, that were calling us, tweeting us like, oh my God, I know who he is. I agree. How do you feel about that?
I've always heard it when I was a kid, so I think growing up, I don't think anything's going to change.
Yeah, totally. Well, we want to know your story. Like, tell us about your life and what's going on with you.
When I was a kid, I pretty much, I did it all when I was a kid. I sold drugs and played football and did all that and had, you know what I'm saying, people paid my mom off so I wouldn't keep playing football and just kind of had it made. So by the time I was 19, I was like $10,000 away from my $1 million, and I walked down to the Subway store and gave a cop a $10,000 key and showed him the pre-ride, how I went about doing it, and walked outside the next day and told the police to leave. And they said, you're going to have to walk down to this and then, and I stayed in jail for like 3 days, and they let me out, and they said, the chip that you walk down there is what you're going to have to do, get cleaned up, and they flip up this big old board so you come back home without getting in any trouble.
Gotcha.
So it was pretty much, you know what I'm saying, the whole background history, and the cops all knew that my mom got paid off for me not to play, and they knew I was doing, like, going to college and went and got my GED and started early, so they didn't really say anything. They didn't say too much about that.
Okay, so what's going on with you now besides selling the Contributor? What's your life like?
Most times it's just kind of getting back in order, and so I have a son at home, and he's 11 now, so I'm 24. I had him when I was 13, and pretty much just kind of make sure he's okay and cleaning up, because he's going to try to follow in my own footsteps. And he's pretty much standing in the middle of the situation right now, and there's a lot of people watching. They look at him, they see him standing up there, and he's, you know what I'm saying, he's about like that tall, so he looks like my little brother, but he's not.
He's gonna play football.
So we'll see what he's going to do. Other than that, it's just pretty much getting back on track.
Yeah. So do you mind telling us what your son's name is? You don't have to give us his last name.
My son's first name is John,
Okay.
but we call him JJ.
So how often do you see him?
I see him all the time. That's my son. He lives with me. He don't live with his mom. He lives with me. That's where my grandma's at right now. So, I mean, I was here and I left and went home and seen him and left and went home, picked up, you know what I'm saying, all the little chips or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying, wherever I go from there, I'm pretty sure he's going to follow. He's going to want to come. So, I'll go from there. It's this big old mess. It's not really a mess. This is pretty much getting cleaned up, you know what I'm saying, everybody out the way that was in the way that had something to do with it and who didn't really have anything to do with it. And, you know what I'm saying, the little dummies and the little dolls and you know what I'm saying, friends and people who aren't friends, you know what I'm saying, just getting them out the way and cleaned up.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying, we go back to doing what we wanted to do.
Okay.
What exactly were you in jail for?
I went to jail because I went to jail on my own terms. And I told the cop to lock me up, and so he put me in jail for like I was asleep, ate a meal, went back to sleep, woke up and got out, and I went home and got out, and it was all that. It was like taking a bath. I don't know how to explain it or what it is, but it was just almost kind of like getting cleaned up. So they let us, they just kind of let me get away with it. Really, what that was.
How long ago was that?
I was 19. I'm 20, just turned 24.
So 5 years. Okay, so you went to jail when you were how old?
19. I went to jail on my own terms when I was 19. When I was 19, when I first started, I walked to the end of the driveway and picked up a $1 million chip and walked back to the walked back and sat down on a concrete curb. And I started looking at the pre-ride, and, you know, I was squirting them and dens. So when I was 8, I walked down there again and grabbed it, and it was all right there. So when I was 13, I walked to the end of the driveway again with the pre-ride and dug up a big old hole, and there was this big old piece of glass. So I pulled the glass out, and I walked inside, and I grabbed this big old deep fryer, and I threw this piece of glass inside this deep fryer, and there was a bunch of marijuana. So I threw it to the side. I walked to the end of the driveway again. I dig another hole a little bit more deeper, and I grabbed this big old rock. And I looked to the left, and you know what I'm saying, they say break it. So, you know what I'm saying, I broke it and I threw it in the water, and a bunch of coke floats to the top, and there's another little basketball right there, and it's pretty much looking like heroin. And so by the time I got done, it was all right there. I didn't pay for any of it, and it was one of them God spiritual things where you walked in the driveway, and so that's how I grabbed my $1 million, and I didn't have it saying how I was going to have it or how it was going to be mine. It was just right there. So I didn't pay for anything, and I looked at I looked at it all, and it all disappeared and went like towards my crotch area. So when I was 13, I came home from school, and I walked outside, and they said go back inside real quick and shut the bathroom window. So I walked inside, shut the bathroom window, well, doing what it said, and so I go inside and I look, and there's nothing there. Nobody's around looking, and there's a pot of boiling water, and so I started messing with it, and you know what I'm saying, I cooked them up and threw it, and I think I had $100,000 by the time I was like 13. And so I went to work. I did all that, but when I did it, it was more or less of a walk more than being like a drug dealer. So when I walked down, and I showed the cop. I said, let me in. And he rolled the window down. And I said, I showed him the Pruger, like what I just said, and he started smiling and grinning. And I said, give it to me. And it was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told him. I said, give it to me. It just had a chip down there. It was $10,000. So I walked to him. I'm pretty sure he put it together. I said, give it to me. And you know what I'm saying?
Why did you ask to be turned in?
Why did you ask to be turned in?
Nah, I said, give it to me. I was $10,000 short from having exactly $1 million. And so when I showed it was a briefcase, and I showed him the key. I said, give it to me. And he looked at the program. You know what I'm saying? We swapped it out or whatever. And he said, all right. So he gave it to me. And so I left and I went home. I walked outside the next night, and you know what I'm saying? They was kind of watching me, following around, whatever. And I was outside, so they started following. And I was walking down the street. I had my shirt off, walking down the street. And I was drinking a little bit, but I wasn't in trouble for drinking. I wasn't even drinking. I think I had like 1 beer. And the cop stopped. He said, you okay? I said, I'm fine. It was the same cop, whatever. And so he looked at me, and I said, come on. So I walked across the street. And he said, what are you doing? I said, just take me to jail. And he said, boy, I said, I don't feel comfortable, just take me to jail. So, you know what I'm saying, he took me to jail, and they flipped up all them chips and them little dens to make you feel safe, like, you know what I'm saying, you can have it, you can keep it, it's yours, this is what you're going to have to do, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be comfortable. It's like paying a fine or something like that. So he took me in, I went out, and that was it. It was more like a secure thing or whatever, you know what I'm saying, it just made you feel secure.
So you found like casino chips is what you found, or?
It's not a casino chip, it's like an indent. And it's almost like winning, you know what I'm saying, just that feeling, like a comfortable feeling instead of just walking around like, oh, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? So
what's your deal now?
Kind of took care of it. I just pretty much got time to rough off and wait. I don't really have a plan. I'm not really worried about you know what I'm saying, what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go next, because I pretty much ran through everything and did everything I needed to do, and I pretty much have everything I need. Being as I went down there and flipped up the dumb one, and you know what I'm saying, I done had spiritual experiences to know what I believe in, be secure and comfortable in what I know, and be able to, you know what I'm saying, be able to, you know what I'm saying, go about a situation to you know what I'm saying, take care of myself again if I need to. So.
Are you happy now?
Are you happy now?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty like 100% like, to be completely honest with you, and like, you know what I'm saying, how you take care of yourself and live and go about doing what you need to do. I pretty much feel like that and no matter what situation, circumstance, I can pretty much just, you know what I'm saying, get away with murder. And that type of vision of a lifestyle, which I already did. So coming here,
you murdered someone? Is that what you just said? You murdered
like,
somebody?
Being like 4 and 8 again, being like 24 and coming here and like rolling around, getting dirty and hot and sweaty outside, and like, you know what I'm saying, wanting to do something and like walking down there and grabbing like all them little dens and knowing what you know and doing what you do and stuff like that. It's pretty much just kind of like having like a way to just be able to relax, you know what I'm saying, and not be able to not worry about like being homeless or like poor for the rest of your life. So I ain't never murdered nobody though. But I did the whole comfortable thing. I went and got a GED when I was 16 and started college and got like all the college credits. I need. It was like 15 credits to go into the Army, and I just left it there. I never went, and I still have them, so I think I can probably go there if I want to.
So you're not homeless though. You have a home, right?
Yeah, my son is at my grandma's house, and as far as I'm concerned, that's my house. Just as where we lived at was my house too. So my grandma's not really that old, and his mother is right there too. So you know what I'm saying? She needs somebody to take care of, and she's old enough like that, and that's the way I was brought up. So as far as I'm concerned, it's right there. So as soon as she's comfortable and everybody else is good to go, I'll probably head home or you know what I'm saying? Hopefully I won't be here no more longer. Hopefully it'll be like less than a year. Virginia.
What part of Virginia?
Winchester, Virginia.
Do people talk to you about your looks right these days?
Yeah, do people tell you that you're cute?
They say it all the time. When I was younger, I had real blonde hair, like blonde hair, like bleach blonde hair. So it was, and I think my eyes are blue right now. Sometimes they'll change to green. They say you got really pretty eyes, a pretty face, and this and that, all that other stuff. So it almost looks like I have mascara on or whatever. I just leave it alone. I don't put it on. I don't wear it, and girls love it. So.
Yeah, we're all really jealous of you. But I want to know, like, if you had the opportunity to like get into modeling, would you want to do it like now?
I'm not give it a shot. I would. I never turn the opportunity down. At the same point in time, I still have a table. You know what I'm saying, that I have to watch. So I don't know what could happen. I could be like, I could go home to my $1,010,000 and just sit down at a table and you know what I'm saying, how it all goes right there and comes back. And you know what I'm saying, I could have like $2.5 million just given to me just because, you know what I'm saying, I didn't ask for it and I walked down there and grabbed it and you know what I'm saying, did what I was supposed to do without being told or asked or wanting to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know what's set or planned for me, really. I don't really believe in that all that type of control either. So we'll see. But as far as like opportunity and stuff like that, I wouldn't turn it down and wouldn't overlook it.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, well, I just want to clear something up. So are you saying that you are a millionaire, that you have like $1 million at your house?
Yeah, I know I have at least $1 million. My son has $250,000.
Wow.
So
And you found all of this money?
I didn't find it. I sold drugs. I know I sold drugs.
Oh,
I went
okay.
to work and sold drugs, and I probably spent $250,000. So.
And so you still have all of this drug money? You still have it?
Yeah, it's a pretty good ride, and I think everybody pretty much knows what I'm talking about. When you have a certain amount of money, you can't put it in the bank, and you know what I'm saying, a higher power give you like a baby dick to do what you need to do to feel comfortable about where your money's at. And
So why are you selling the contributor?
it was something to do it's better than just sitting down there with nothing or constantly pulling it out, spending that money. When I just, you know what I'm saying, can sell that and run around and get dirty and, you know what I'm saying, cleaned up and, you know what I'm saying, let time go by to do what I want to do again, you know what I'm saying.
Do you do